Spatchcock Funk in the house, our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need are the people that you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk, dope food, strong drinks, great stories. Warm up the amplifiers and get your head right because things are about to get loud. At The Funk, we believe in the power of live music. We love arts, culture, and nothing connects us more than a killer concert. Whether you're in a sawdust in the floor joint or screaming your lungs out with 20,000 fans, that rattle and hum gets our hearts running. From country swank to a searing guitar solo or someone cutting up the ones and twos like a samurai, hearing that feedback on the sonic highway is how we celebrate life, baby. Sometimes the opening act can be the best part of the show, but we're not talking about the undercard, we're talking about the tailgate. This is how you really warm up the crowd. Time to crank the dial all the way 11 and then break the knob off because this is 808s and license plates. Time to make this party hype. You wanna get a tailgate party going, you gotta have a killer cocktail. And this is Hell on Heels. It's a Paloma basically, and it's dedicated to all those awesome women going to country music concerts. You hear those boots clicking through the parking lot, them sundresses. Girl, you looking good. So we don't make a drink that feels good too, that gets you ready to party. The Hell on Heels is a combination of different flavors that's refreshing, but a little powerful enough to, kickstart your heart. So let's get started. We're gonna batch this cocktail. Whenever you can, if you need it, batch something so it's easier to distribute at a party. This drink has 6 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. It has 2 ounces of fresh pineapple juice. This creates a really good sweetness and balance to all that tart. Then we have about a 1/2 ounce of some orange liqueur. We're gonna take that, and this is basically our liquor section. So now, in a plastic cup that we're gonna be serving at the party, we're gonna go about halvesies with it. Then we're gonna top it with some grapefruit soda. Now to garnish it and make people, a concert should have something extra. What we did is we took some gummy bears, which we soaked overnight in more tequila. So we're gonna drop 2 of those beauties in here for some fun color. Then we're gonna throw 1 lime wedge in it and then 1 on the side. We gotta taste it, see how we're doing, so. Whoop, there it is, thought you knew. One of the main courses for our tailgate is going to be Bad Bunny Empanadas, y'all. Now, empanadas have been on a world tour. They were born in Spain, but they're in South America, Central America, Europe, everywhere, man. They are everything. And we've named this after the great Bad Bunny because he takes different styles, man. One day, this dude's wearing a tank top and shorts. The next day, a 7-piece suit. I didn't know they made those, but that dude can rock it. So this is the type of thing that comes together, and like him, it gets funky on the mic and funky in the fryer. Let's get our dry ingredients in there first, because we're gonna make things wet like we like to. But first, the dry ingredients. 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon good old salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and then 2 teaspoons of granulated garlic. Now we're gonna mix all that evenly. Now comes the ooey gooey stuff. We're gonna put in 1/2 cup of duck fat and a butter mixture we made, but you can use large shortening, but the duck fat and butter really makes it a really great connection there. Keep mixing it until it looks like a little sandy, like you got wet sand in there. We're gonna add a 1/3 cup of ice water. It's gotta be cold. And then 2 teaspoons of white distilled vinegar. And now you can use 2 forks, and you're gonna keep mixing this stuff together and get it into your nice fluffy dough. You're gonna take the dough and you are gonna roll them into a golf ball size ball around 2 ounces. We're gonna throw them into a storage bag, food storage bag, and let them sit for an hour. The dough, a little sleepy, taking a nap. Meanwhile, we are gonna bring out the remix. DJ Khaled is gonna be really pumped about this because we are mixing things up. Not in the 1s and 2s, but on the stovetop and a mixing bowl. So first, we're gonna heat up some butter in a pan and throw in 4 diced shallots. The meat, baby, let's get to it. This is mild chorizo. So we've took it out of the casing. You can get it ground or chop up chorizo any way you want to. We're gonna mix this into our translucent shallots. Get that flavor going. It's gonna start smelling real good. The next ingredient to make this thing wet and chewy and juicy in all the best ways, because we like things to be juicy, is just like Biggie and Nicki Minaj do. We're going to take about a cup of sofrito. Sofrito you can get in the grocery store. It's basically cooked down tomatoes, cilantros, onion, garlic. It's fantastic. It's almost like a tomato sauce with like the cilantro-y spice to it. We're gonna add this and about half a teaspoon of some garlic salt. We've got our chorizo, sofrito, shallots. Put them in a nice mixing bowl. Then we've got 8 ounces of shredded manchego cheese. You can use white cheddar if you can't find manchego, but the manchego adds a really nice, crispy addition to the flavor profile. So it just blends well with the chorizo, the mild chorizo. You can use spicy chorizo too. And this gives us a really nice fat, salt, just nice mix with the sweetness of the shallots. This is gonna be the stuffing for these beautiful empanadas. You wanna make something hot, you gotta top it with something, y'all. So we're making a cherry lime sour cream that just sings. Like someone at a concert, you in your car, getting ready to go to the concert. So we have 8 ounces of sour cream. We're gonna put into a food processor. We've got 10 ounces of maraschino cherries with the juice. Then finally, we've got the juice of 1 lime. The acid brings out all the sweetness and creaminess. Now, we've got this beautiful creamy sauce that will drizzle or dip depending on what you want. And you know what? If you want it thicker, add more sour cream. You see us rolling, but you ain't hating. We are gonna roll this out now. We've got our golf ball sized piece of dough. Get it on your cutting board, your counter, and you're gonna flatten it with the palm of your hand and then pick it up and massage it and spread it out. You want it to be about that big. The dough is good and sturdy, so it's gonna be able to take a beating, you know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta be a little rough, as long as people want it that way. Like Belle Biv DeVoe, you wanna smack it up, flip it, and rub it down. Oh no, we need some chorizo stuffing. So take around a tablespoon, a little bit less than that, and put that in the center of this doughy, beautiful pillow. Then take one end, you're gonna fold it over, press it with your fingers a little bit, and to make sure it's sealed well on an empanada, we're gonna take a fork and use the tines of the fork, and we're gonna press around the entire thing. Now we're gonna take this beauty with some of our friends and drop them in some hot oil that's going 350 and fry them till they're golden brown. Look at that. We've got some sea salt on top. Take everything on the fryer and salt it. And then some fresh cilantro with our cherry lime sauce. Let me tell you something. The duck fat in the dough, certified banger. Every good party's gotta have some starch. To us, it's like a bass player in a band. It just brings things together, absorbs alcohol, allows you to really get the party going. So these are Cupcakes by the Ocean. Now, they're actually a savory cupcake because it makes us think about, you ever go to a show like we saw Zach Brown come out and cover Metallica? When your favorite band does something different. So someone thinks they're getting a cupcake and it's got a savory kind of spin on it, and this really does it. One of our favorite recipes for a long time, our friend Jess actually taught us part of it. So what we're actually gonna do first is we're gonna saute 1 whole diced up peach and 2 diced up jalapenos. So the jalapeno, right, it's not gonna add too much heat as long as you do it right. A jalapeno, if you de-seed it and then cut out all the ribs, you get more of the peppery flavor and not as much heat. So it's a good trick to know. So let's throw these in the pan. So for the batter for our cornbread, we want to really fire this thing up and make it good. So this old school recipe, we're using about 2 cups of cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, a ½ cup of white sugar, give it some sweet in this a little bit, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons baking powder. Get that evenly mixed up, the dry part, then we can make things wet the way a good concert can, you know what I mean? Now we're gonna put about 1.5 cups of vegetable oil in here, and if it seems like it's too oily when you're done, just throw in some more cornmeal, that'll balance it out. We're also gonna put in 1 cup of whole milk, and then 1 egg. So we're gonna evenly mix this up until it gets nice and lumpy in the batter. But you'll have a little bit of oil on top, don't worry about that. Once it starts coming together and getting a little lumpy, we're gonna add in our peach, butter, and jalapeno mix. And keep stirring. Ooh, batter up. This batter looks good. We got millions of peaches for me all mixed up in here. I'm gonna slide that over. And we've got our oven preheated to 400 degrees. Meanwhile, we've got a sprayed muffin tin, cupcake tin, and we're gonna drop in some of our batter till it fills up about 3/4 of the cup. Cupcakes by the Ocean need a killer frosting, and that's what we're doing right now. This is a cream cheese frosting. It's savory, a little spicy the way we like to get down. Sweet and spicy and savory, you know what I mean? So we've got 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese that we're gonna just stuff into a food processor, as messy as possible, as you can tell. 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh chives, 2 tablespoons of honey. Finally, about 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, and we're gonna use green jalapeno hot sauce. So it's not super spicy, but the acid and the heat in it's gonna bring out some cool flavors into this beautiful frosting. So now we've got it all mixed up, let's mix things up. Okay, we're all mixed up, don't know what to do, but I do. Let me take a look at this frosting, it's perfect. Got a nice little green tint to it. I can see all the chives ready to roll. Smells like a party, y'all. So when these things come out of the oven, we're gonna top things up. We got our little cupcakes out of the oven, and such a cute little cupcake too. I kinda wanna take it home. We're gonna take this cupcake, we're gonna take that awesome frosting we got with the back of a spoon, and we're gonna just ladle it on top there, okay? Then we're gonna top it with some crushed up fried onion rings, the type you see in the gas station in a bag. They're a lot of fun. Put those on there. Gives a little crunch, nice little flavor. You can use frizzled onions, fried onions, whatever, but we think this is just kind of cool and great for a parking lot. Then, some more fresh chives. And now, Cupcake by the Ocean. We're gonna keep the salty language to a minimum, but we're gonna get really salty in here. But first, we're with a sweet guy, one of our good friends, David, who makes the best salt in the world. And David, you make this from groundwater?
Yeah, we're standing on what used to be an ocean.
Okay.
And we pump water from about 300 feet below the surface into these tables, and then we heat it. And then after a couple days, we end up with this beautiful flaky white stuff here called salt.
Yes.
And then what we do with this is we'll take this after it drains and we dry it, and then what are you using it for?
So we're gonna make some salty, sweet cookies, brown butter toffee cookies.
Oh, awesome. So you probably are gonna want some nice flake salt.
Yep.
We do infuse salts with different flavors, but I don't think
the garlic salt, black garlic salt you make might be one of the greatest inventions in the history of man.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank
really
you.
is.
Yeah, I love that. But what you're looking at for toffee cookies is, I think, nice flake salt. So I'll take this, we'll dry it, and then we'll sift it to the nice finishing size, and you can sprinkle that on top of those wonderful cookies.
Love it. Let's get sifting and not be shifty. If you want a concert to be sweet, you gotta bring a sweet treat. So today, we're making one of our favorite things in the world. These are Monkey Wrench cookies, named after the great Dave Grohl song, Monkey Wrench, Foo Fighters. But actually, our friend Abby is the one who gave us this recipe. The first time she made it for us, we were partying, of course, and she's like, hey, take a bite of this cookie. And I promptly ate 6 cookies. Every time, I'm like, give me another bite, I'm not sure. So they are absolutely slamming. We're taking some beautiful brown butter, chocolate chips, toffee, one of my favorite things, and whisking them up into this cookie that you can just float into the sky on, right? Someone shredding the atmosphere in a guitar. This is how that works. This cookie does the same thing. You're gonna scream your lungs out when you eat this cookie. That is where we're gonna go. So the first thing we're gonna start with is we're gonna brown the butter. We're taking 2 sticks of unsalted butter and we're gonna brown it in a pan, constantly twirling it until we start to see brown bits form, then we take it off. Yeah. Now, brown butter is gonna have a nutty aroma to it, which makes a really cool flavor profile and like a toastedness. So we're gonna scrape all of the brown bits off of the pan and get it right in there. So we're gonna put that right into our mixer bowl for our stand mixer. Okay, we're gonna mix our sugars in now. We have 1 cup tightly packed brown sugar, dark brown sugar, that's gonna go in. Then ½ a cup of granulated white sugar. So we're gonna mix all that in, stir it up a little bit, and then put it on our mixer. While that brown butter sugar mixture is cooling a little bit, we're gonna make our dry ingredients. So we have 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of espresso powder, the instant espresso coffee type, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and ½ a teaspoon of baking powder. Then evenly mix it together until it looks like a little browner in color with some flecks of black from the espresso powder. Yo, so once this sugar buttery mixture is cool, I mean it's cool no matter what, but it's temperature cool, we're gonna add in 2 eggs plus 1 additional yolk, and then 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. We're gonna raise up and we're gonna slowly whisk it. So on our setting, we're gonna go 1 and slowly whisk the eggs and the vanilla in to the mixture. We've got our butter, sugar, egg, vanilla mixture cooled off. It's been mixed and whisked evenly. So now we're gonna switch to the paddle attachment on our mixer and we're gonna slowly fold in the dry ingredients and it's gonna beat the dough together on level 1. Now comes the special part, you know what I mean? Like the guitar solo in the song Monkey Wrench. We're gonna put in 1 cup of toffee bits and we're gonna put in 1 cup of chocolate chips. And then stir it up. Now we've got our beautiful dough. We're gonna get all this out. It's gonna be heavy and sticky. Put it on a floured surface. And we're gonna roll it into a log that's about 2 inches around. We're gonna get it rolled out into that log and then we're gonna let it sit in the fridge for at least 24 hours. If you need to break it into 2 logs, that's fine because you're gonna cut these into discs too. So you can wrap it in saran wrap, or what we do is take them and cut them into these little discs, and then in a plastic bag that we can stick in the refrigerator, we're gonna put those discs in there. And again, let them sit overnight. Our dough has been overnight in the fridge. Then we're gonna let it sit out for 1 hour, get it to room temperature, spray a cookie sheet, lay them out about 3 in a row so they can spread out a little bit. Then we're gonna heat an oven to 350 degrees. Slide them in for 12 to maybe 14 minutes, keep an eye on them. They're already brown butter in here, so they're gonna look like they're cooked or they're done, they're not burnt, but keep an eye on them, 12, 14 minutes. Let's go to the oven. Yes, look at these beauties. We're gonna let them sit and cool for 2 minutes, but while they're cooling, we're gonna take some good flaky sea salt from our boy Dave, David gave it to us, and we're gonna use it right. The salt brings out all of the sweet goodiness and the fattiness of the brown butter, making these cookies something that just can't be beat. Oh yeah, warm, delicious. I don't know if they smell better or taste better, but they are fantastic, so throw a monkey wrench in that.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You like my oxygen, make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart, no barging in.
Every time we're tailgating, we always have like a pretty ripping adventure. But I gotta tell you, one time when I was a youngin', I was like just like 21, and I went to this big music festival with my crew. And we're sitting there, and there's not a lot of cool action going on. And all of a sudden, this crew of ladies walk by, and they seem like they're attractive and a little bit older than us, but like they're not having fun. And I asked one of them, hey, do you have a light? And she turns and she's like, yeah, kid, and lifts up her skirt, and she has a garter belt that has 2 cigarettes, a lighter, and a flask. So I'm like, this person's interesting. So she lights it up, and we start talking, and all of a sudden now I'm like, oh my God, this is like the coolest person ever, and I'm not in a position to be talking to her because I'm not cool. And she took us under her wing like a mother hen. We're walking around the entire tailgate in the concert, and she's like, I'm talking to a girl, and she's like, you don't want to talk to her. Another girl, she's like, talk to her. And gave us all the tips, like how to actually get to the bathroom, taught us how to like open the door and like use that as a bathroom in the parking lot if people are so inclined.
You didn't know how to open the door and use
I mean, I did, well, you know, at the time I would just actually just like, you know, I do one of these. I mean, the table here and just like unzip, me talking like, yo, so what's going on, you know? Roll like that a little bit. You ever have any good adventures at the tailgate?
Not like that, but I have gotten injured.
All the time.
I was young. It was one of my first tailgates. I was playing football, nice and, you know, friendly game of football. Caught the ball, amazing catch, ran straight into a car.
Oh,
And
yes.
everybody cheered, booed, laughed, and I was like, I don't think
like your face print on the
I was like,
glass.
guys, I don't think I'm gonna go in the concert.
Oh, no.
Like, it was bad, but I
Did you
made
make
it
it
in.
in?
I made it in the concert, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
all
I
that
don't
matters.
remember the rest.
Okay.
I feel like some of the best tailgates you shouldn't remember, right? But one of them that I do remember, it was the dead of winter in upstate New York. And a couple of buddies of mine, really dedicated, we rented a U-Haul and we shoved all of our booze in there, all of our music equipment, tables, games, food, and it was a really snowy day. But we set up. There's probably 10 of us out there just going way too hard, and it was great. Cars were going by, honking at us. We're like, yeah, go.
Why the U-Haul? Just packed everybody
we had
in it?
so much. We had too much stuff. We were over
That's a
prepared.
party right there.
Yeah.
Over-prepared.
I thought he just packed a bunch of people in to get the less, you know.
Oh, some of
One
us were in the back of the
parking fee,
U-Haul. Yeah, some of us were in the back, but you know, $10 a park, and a whole lifetime of memories is worth it.
Definitely worth it, absolutely. Music just sounds better when you're listening to it with the right people, you feel me? So gather your crew, but you got that part, then you bring the party. A banger of a song needs a melody, a hook, and some creativity. And a great tailgate party, the same mix. Grit, blood, sweat, tears makes a ferocious opener. It could be a killer riff, someone spitting fire bars, so you gotta come correct for your bandmates too. And that's what we're all about here. So load up that playlist and your cooler too. Turn up the speakers and fire up the fryer because we're going all in. One night only, a sold out show. The doors are about to open, so I got a jet. See you in the pit.
Something